followed by the introduction part. Let's start the next part of our subject. Coming to the main topic, conducting material. So it is a low resistive material and it conducts heat as well as electricity. Electron conduction is due to free electrons. So for normal conduction, not only free electrons, phonons are also included. So what is a phonon? Let us say this is a lattice formation. This lattice formation is arranged in a row that more than 2 lattices or 4 lattices used to combine to form a molecule in a material. So what happens, consider these round things as an atom. So this atom has electrons within them. Because of that, what happens, the electron is responsible for conduction, as we know that earlier. Okay, so what happens, if one electron starts to vibrate, it passes on the electron to other lattices and the whole atoms will start to vibrate and start to conduct. This is the main property. So these electrons are arranged within an atom at a perfect distance, each one having a equal distance. So what happens when one electron is given a energy, which is some sort of heat energy or light energy, whatever it is, it causes vibration in that electron. That causes the path to vibrate and pass it on to another electron. So what happens, because of this vibration, the electron joins, it goes to combine with the other electron. What happens when the like charges come close together? What happens? They repel each other. So in the same way, both the electrons will repel each other, that they have the wider distance compared to the previous distance. So they will be thrown out to a long distance. After that, because of the long distance, they start to attract each other. So what happens? Again, the vibrations start to pass on to the next electron in which it has attracted. So in the same way, what happens? One electron passes on the vibration to other electrons and makes the material to conduct. That is why we call this vibrating material into phonons. So instead of considering it as a vibrating wave or anything, they are considering it as a particle. So this vibrating particle is known as phonon particle. So for normal conduction, we need free electrons as well as phonons, which is a vibrating part. Coming to the basic terminologies that we are going to use throughout the unit. Conductors, it is 10 ohm meter for metal and their alloys. Bound electrons are those valence electrons which are tightly bounded to their parent nuclei. Free electrons are those electrons that are loosely bounded or does not bound to the parent nuclei. So what happens, the boundaries of the neighboring atoms, they overlap to each other, so the electrons jump from one atom to another to form a continuity while conducting electricity, heat or anything. So coming to the difference between ordinary gas and free electron gas, the ordinary gas molecules are neutrals, free electron gas are charged. So because of this, the density of molecules in ordinary gas is quite small compared to that of free electron gas. So it because of the neutrality, the pressure almost drops or increases based on the temperature. If the temperature decreases, the pressure will be decreased. But whereas in free electron gas, as the molecules are charged, they collide with each other and obviously it causes increase in pressure. So the temperature does not affect the pressure. So we cannot store this kind of electron gas in a container, because even though we store it in a container, it forms a charge using the container molecule. So most of the electron gas would not be stored in containers. Only ordinary gas will be. Electric field for a conductor having uniform cross section without any bends or any kind of cracks is E is equal to V by L, that is potential drop per unit length. Potential drop is measured in volts and unit length is measured in meters. So we get the unit. Coming to current density is defined as the current per unit area of cross section, which has a normal flow of current without any sort of resistance. So current has the unit of ampere and area has the unit of meter square. So we get the unit conducting material is of three categories: zero resistive materials, low, high resistive materials. So zero resistive materials are superconductors because they have no resistance, so they are considered as superconductors. They are alloys of aluminum, zinc, gallium, etc. So when zero resistance is achieved, it is below the transition temperature. What is transition temperature? Transition temperature is nothing but the material changes its property at this temperature. It is known as transition temperature. So what happens at low temperature? It becomes zero resistance. So we are using this kind of zero resistant materials in power conductors, power systems, in conducting magnets, memory storage elements, so that there won't be rise in temperature. So coming to low resistive material, they are silver, aluminum and alloys. So we know in certain products, in certain materials like a fan, in those we need certain kind of resistance because the full power supply will damage the device. So for that we are using this in kind of windings for motors, transformers, and also we are using in the power distribution system, that is from EB to our household supplies. We need certain kind of resistance because those high power may damage our equipment. High resistive material, so increased resistance causes the temperature coefficient to reduce, so which is results in the dissipation of heat. So what happens, this heat is used in heating elements and also resistance thermometers. So we know now the conduction is due to valency electrons, and the detached valency electrons are known as the free electrons. These are the terminologies we are going to use throughout the unit. Electron theory of solids. So this is the important topic of this unit. Electrons in the outermost orbit of the atom determines the electrical properties in the solid. This is why, because the outermost orbit electron are known as valence electrons. Those valence electrons are responsible for the conduction of electricity. That's why it is responsible for the electrical properties in the solids. So this theory explains the structure and property of solids based on their electronic structure. So what does the solid here refers to? It is refers to both the metals and the non-metals. So it explains the behavior of conductor, insulator, semiconductor, and also the electrical, thermal, magnetic properties of solids based on their electronic structures. So based on all of this category, we are defining it in three theories: classical free electron theory, quantum free electron theory, zone theory or band theory of solids. So classical free electron theory, it is a macroscopic theory. Quantum free electron theory, it is a microscopic theory. Classical free electron theory was proposed by Drude and Lorentz in 1900, quantum free by Sommerfeld in 1928, and zone theory by Bloch in 1928. So in classical free electron theory, the free electrons are responsible for electrical conduction. Quantum free electron theory proposes that the movement of electrons, that is valency electrons, at a constant potential is responsible for conduction, whereas zone theory says that it is because of free electrons but their movement is periodic, potential movement is periodic. And now classical free electron theory, it obeys the law of classical mechanics, whereas quantum free electron theory, it obeys the law of quantum mechanics. And for zone theory, electron conduction is based on the energy bands. So all these three electron theories are going to be studied throughout this unit. So our next video is going to be about classical free electron theory. Thank you.